in this video we will try to solve the questions that were asked in today's JKSSRB examination that was conducted for the post of Panchayat Accountant Assistant. We will try to solve the questions on the economics portion. The question was asked like, the cost inflation index is mainly used to compute business income, long-term capital gain, short-term capital gain, or income from other sources. Now this cost inflation index is actually used to compute the long-term capital gain. So the correct option would be B. Actually, this capital gain is the profit which we make from selling an asset like real estate, jewelry, stock, etc. For that, this cost inflation index is mainly used. Now coming to the next question that was asked, when a commodity is sold at a lower price in the foreign markets and at higher price in the domestic markets, then the strategy is known as price ceiling, dumping, multi-plant monopoly, or peak load pricing. Actually, the answer to this question is actually the dumping. Dumping is a deliberate strategy which a country makes to sell its product at lower price in the foreign markets and at higher in the domestic markets. Actually, China uses this strategy very often. So the correct option would be B. Now coming to the next question. The next question that was asked was, which of the following is an example of variable cost? Rent, utility, or employee salary? Now coming to the rent, rent is actually the fixed cost. So the option first is not correct. Now utility cost is the cost incurred by using utilities. Utilities like the electricity we use, the gas we use. For that, this is the utility cost. That is actually a variable cost. It changes with change in the consumption of like electricity or other things. So coming to the third option, that is the employee salary. Actually, it is not here clearly mentioned whether the salaries are of the casual employees or the permanent staff. If it were the salary, the permanent staff, then it would have been the fixed cost. Since it has not been mentioned here, so we will go for it is here the permanent staff. So the correct option according to this would be option B here. If we assume that here the employee salary is of the permanent staff, if it is not like this, then the correct option would be D. So it will we will see what will be in the key. Coming to the next question. In the law of variable proportion, the second stage of the production ends when? So the question is actually the tricky. It says the second stage of the production ends. When will it end? Actually, it is not it is saying here the second stage starts. It says when the second stage of the production ends. The options are given as the total production rises at increasing rate, the total production rises at diminishing rate, the total production starts decreasing, the total production is maximum possible. So here actually it is the total production starts decreasing. Actually we can graph this out also. I will try to form the graph. It looks like this. The total production curve is like this. Law of variable proportion, actually it is the first stage is where the total product increases at an increasing rate. So this is the first stage. This is the second stage where the total product starts increasing at a diminishing rate, but it ends where the second stage ends when the production ends when the total production starts are decreasing. So the correct option would be C here, since it the question says when does the second stage of production end. The second stage will end at this point. From that, the total production will start diminishing. Coming to the next question. The next question is, which one of the following option represents already spent expenses by a firm but the same are not recorded in the account books. The options are the sunk cost, uncontrollable costs, implicit costs, explicit costs. Here the correct option is the sunk cost. Sunk costs are the costs that are actually already incurred and has no potential for recovery. Like we pay the rent, we have to pay the rent and we can't recover it. These are the these are actually also called the past cost. So the correct option would be the sunk costs. Implicit means and the opportunity cost. Explicit means the cost on the labels which actually change with change in the production. So the correct option I guess is the sunk cost here. Now coming to the next question. The next question is which of the following options points to a demand for one product as a consequence of demand for a parent product. So the options are company demand, composite demand, short-term demand, or derived demand. Actually, the correct option is the derived demand. So the option D is correct. Derived demand is actually the demand for a good that results from the demand for the different or related good. That is actually to say, if we have the mobile phones and lithium ion batteries, if the demand for the mobile phones increases, then at the production stage, the demand for the lithium ion batteries will also increase. So the correct option is the D, derived demand, which is the demand for a good that results from the demand for different or related good. So the correct option is here D. Now coming to the next question. The question is, when two goods are perfectly complementary, the indifference curve is intersects each other, is L-shaped, is a straight line, is a concave. In this case, the indifference curve will look like the L-shaped. Why it is L-shaped? Actually, these are the perfectly complementary goods. Like we buy a pair of shoes, so the utility of left shoe would be zero without the right shoe, and vice versa. So we have to consume the goods in a fixed proportion. We can't buy the three left shoes and two left shoes. Sorry, three left shoes and two right shoes. The utility of the third left shoe would be zero. So our utility will not increase if we buy right two right shoes and one left shoe. So we have to use the shoes in fixed proportion. That is the proportion 1:1. So here in this case, the indifference curve is L-shaped, because in the indifference curve gives us, it's a locus of points which gives the same satisfaction to the consumer. When a consumer buys two left shoes and only one right shoe, its utility would be same when it would have uses only two left shoes and two right shoes. So the correct option is B here in this case. Coming to the another question, from the following options, identify the reasons best suited why underdeveloped countries make fiscal policy. The first option is reduce labor taxes, especially at low income levels, accelerate the rate of capital formation and investment, provide well-designed tax incentives that reduce the cost of capital, increase the potential output as major advanced and emerging market economies. So the correct option in this case, I guess, is the second one, that is accelerate the rate of capital formation and investment. So the prime motive of the fiscal policy is to accelerate the rate of capital formation and investment in an economy. I hope I make myself clear.